Finally, online shopping. It's easy, convenient, and very tempting to buy more than you need. Say different sizes, knowing you can send it back for free. Well, if you do that, you might need to change your ways. One of the biggest online retailers, ASOS, has announced it'll be cracking down on people who return too many items. In an email to customers, they have said, if we notice an unusual pattern of returns activity that doesn't sit right, for example, we suspect someone is actually wearing their purchases and then returning them, or indeed ordering and returning loads, then we might have to deactivate the account and any associated accounts. So what will shoppers make of the change? Well, I'm joined now by fashion blogger Kesha East and consumer expert Helen Dewdney. Good evening to both of you. Kesha, to you first of all. People are taking the Michael here, aren't they? I mean, fair enough, ASOS want to take action. Well, you know, the problem is social media is on the rise. People love social media, and social media dictates, unfortunately, a lot of the tone of how us young people feel and how we think. And unfortunately, there is a lot of pressure to dress a certain way to keep up with the trends. And fast fashion companies like ASOS are kind of feeding into that because there are new trends all the time on there. And we just can't afford, you know, the demand of having to wear all these different trends. And so people do buy clothes, wear them and send them back. It's a culture now. Helen, this is a way that companies want to respond to that culture, though, isn't it?
It is. I mean, they've under the law, they've got customers have 14 days to notify of return and another 14 days to actually return the item. So they've got that great big window to be wearing stuff. But it'd be interesting to see if other companies follow suit. But it's whether, you know, they actually charge more for returning, because they don't have to do free returns. They could actually charge for returns.
I just want to pause first of all, because we have been talking to some shoppers and to see what they think. So let's just hear from them.
I think they'll lose customers because it becomes a less useful service. If I can't return everything I buy, I'm not going to risk maybe buying loads of stuff from them.
If every medium was the same size, it'd be fine, but it's not. Different brands of different sizes, isn't they? So it's a lot more difficult.
And that's the appeal for you?
Yeah. So you don't know if you're going to be a small, medium, large, so you buy them in all different sizes and then send back the ones you don't want.
As a business, they've got to make the right decision for them, and anything that stops people consuming is going to be better for the planet. If it makes people consider their purchases a little bit more carefully, then that can only be good.
Well, a mixture of thoughts there, Kesha. Sustainable for the planet, but it's got to be sustainable for business, hasn't it?
Well, exactly. I mean, with ASOS particularly, one of the things that makes them so different and why people love shopping on them is because they offer a premium service where you can return. You pay, I think, $9.99 for the year, and you can have unlimited returns. And I feel like if they kind of change that now and they're going to tell us that we can't return items because we might wear them, or, I mean, wearing them is a different thing altogether, but as the gentleman said in the clip, sometimes you do have different sizes in different brands and you need to send them back. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Let's talk about the right side of things and the legality of this all. I mean, you know, how does it all sit with the consumer?
Well, if you're buying not in store, so if you're online shopping, then you have got more rights, because you can have the change of mind because you've not been able to try it on and all the rest of it.
See it properly.
Exactly. So you know, we all buy things in the different sizes and the different colours to send back. So you have got all that time that I mentioned earlier to send things back. If there's something wrong with it, then that's another law again, and you can send it back and you wouldn't have to pay return postage. But some companies will make you pay return postage for a change of mind, and some won't. Where that's, you know, this yearly thing. So it's whether they'll look at changing that as well.
It is interesting, isn't it? I mean, Kesha, do you think there's actually another way of doing this? I mean, some companies have thought about putting labels on the front of clothes which would stop people, you know, picturing themselves on blogs and everything, the influencers looking at themselves and picturing themselves with the clothes on. Could that make a difference?
I think it would make a difference. I know that Pretty Little Thing, for example, they put tags through the sleeves of clothes and you have to cut them off if you want to wear them. Otherwise, you have a black kind of label on the clothes. And I think something like that probably would change people's minds. But blacklisting is not not going to change it.
Sure. So other companies are already starting to do things differently. Helen, historically, though, we think that the customer is the king. I mean, this is slightly changing the balance a little bit, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It's whether the customer's always right. But I think we could look back to the time when we had catalogues like, the Freemans and the Littlewoods and all that. So people have always done this change of mind, but in those days, when we had the catalogues, the prices were more. So I think it is about looking at different ways that they don't go out of business. It really hits small businesses more. But certainly, I think as time goes by, we will see more creative ways of making sure that people don't do this, trying it on and taking photos and wearing it and going, which actually is fraud.
I guess it is fraud. I guess the bottom line is this going to affect business?
Ooh,
Predictions?
I don't think it's going to affect business because I don't think that they can implement it. I mean, it's nice in an idea, but it's a fantasy. People can just create different accounts or use their friends. I don't think it's going to stop anyone.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Kesha and Alison. Thank you very much. That's all from us for now. Alex Deakin has the weather next, and Charlotte Grant has updates throughout the evening from all the team. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye for now. Good night.